Hello and welcome to Pugsley Crew Reviews podcast. A podcast where we talk about all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or just in between. We'll give them a watch. And today we have with me again, Q9000.
Hello.
How's it going, dude?
Not bad. How are you doing?
I am doing well. You been up to much recently?
No, not much. Just Switch 2 launch and stuff.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah.
Um, Today we're talking about a film which is based on a video game. The next film we'll be talking about will also be a film based on a video game. But this one was based on Postal, which I never played Postal. I did play some of Postal 2.
I think that was the more popular one.
Yeah.
Because the old Postal is top down, like
Yeah.
the first two Grand Theft Autos. And then Postal 2's more first person shooter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I briefly played the first one, but not loads.
No, I don't think I ever played it at all. Only the second one. And I think there's a third one as well now. Well, I
I
say
think we're
now.
up to 4.
Oh,
I
is it?
think.
Damn.
Yeah, I think so. Never touched 3 or 4.
No. I don't think I ever will either. uh, so Postal is a film that sees a guy going from unhappy to killing people, and then it ends bad. Basically, there's a group of terrorists. They want to get these crotchy dolls, which are little penises, and inside the arse of each of those dolls is a bird flu thing.
Yeah, Viola bird flu.
Because that's going to destroy the US or something. But at the same time, another group of people are trying to get the crotchy dolls to sell them. Because one sold on like eBay or whatever the fuck it was on the film for $4,000. So they wanted to get the money by selling a load of crotchy dolls. But it turns out that that isn't actually the case, and one of the guys who was helping the heist actually wanted the bird flu virus to use it worldwide to destroy the earth, because that's what one of the other guys had said, because he said that the earth was gonna end and God and blah 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 blah, but it was just bullshit he made up just because he was just trying to get his own fucking like cult going.
I mean, it is the case, and it's like a cult that's made for the express purpose of making him rich and getting him laid.
Yeah.
But then somebody else has believed into it so hard, they've took it in a different direction, and he's sort of lost control of his own cult.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what it is. I'll be honest, and I'll start this off. Is I didn't like the film. I didn't. I thought it was shit.
I thought it was ridiculous, but I also partly enjoyed it.
There were a couple of scenes that made me laugh, but not many. Most of it, and I thought the film was like 2 or 3 hours long, because it felt like I was watching something for hours. And I looked at it, and it was out on for an hour and just coming up, just about an hour, and there was like another hour and 10 minutes we were in, and there was another like 20 minutes left, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, is this ever going to end?
I never know how to pronounce this director's name. Is it Uwe Boll or?
I think it's pronounced Uwe Boll.
Uwe Boll.
Yeah, because I think they say it in the film.
Oh yeah, they do, don't they? He
Yeah.
says it's the most important film he's made. I thought I'd get that across while you saying how crap it is.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I liked some of the scenes. I think my favorite scene in the entire film the entire film was where he used a cat as a silencer, and then the cat was perfectly fine.
Do you know that the animatronic cat used for that scene, it's briefly seen at hardly any time at all, 45,000 American dollars that cost.
What?
Yep.
Really? That is
Yeah.
shocking. Fucking hell.
I think, I thought that was funny, but I also think you could have done a lot more other things with $45,000.
Yeah, I agree. For that amount of money, you should have spent it on something better. But I did think it was funny. The old, like literally the best part of the film is just using the cat as a silencer. Like, but then he puts the cat down, and the cat just walks off fine. It's like, yeah. Also, one of the scenes I found quite funny, to be fair, is where like the terrorists and all that turn up, and everyone's shooting. Like 98% of the people who were shot were kids. uh, I don't know why I found that funny, but I did. It's like, why did they do that? Is that like, are they making a reference to the game where now you kill a load of kids, or are they trying to be controversial, or
I
what?
think it was an attempt at controversy, because I think most of the things in this film are an attempt at controversy. It's very scathing of religion.
Yeah,
Kids are free to get killed. Gratuitous sex. There's the thing where they go on about. It made me laugh because we watched Snow White recently, the new one,
yeah.
and towards the end of that film, they try and wrap the whole film up with just like a big impassioned speech about if we all love more, and he tries that when everyone's shooting at each other. He's like, if we all unite in what we have in common, and I think like they all go hatred of the Jew.
I
He's like, no,
know.
no, a nice thing, a nice thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But no, it is. I can't think of many films which you could deem more controversial than this. But one of the controversial things is my favourite part of it, and it's right near the beginning, where they're having the debate about the number of virgins you get for being a suicide bomber. And
yeah,
he's like, you said 99. He told me 100. Well, what does one virgin matter? They're like, but if they're saying different things, do they really know? Let's get the boss on the phone.
yeah. And then on the
It's
phone,
just,
it's like, I can't guarantee more than 20.
yeah,
And they were gonna go to
Bermuda or Jamaica or something. I can't remember where, but they were going to turn the plane
the
around.
Bahamas. Yeah,
That's it, Bahamas.
the Bahamas. Instead of doing something dodgy, go to the Bahamas. And obviously that didn't happen, and they crashed the plane into a guy washing a window.
That scene, they showed several seconds of it to people who'd lost loved ones in 9/11 because not the director or the filmmakers, newspapers, sorry, showed it to people who'd lost.
Oh,
And
right.
no build up to it. They didn't show the joke about they just showed basically to rile them up to get this film's awful, blah 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 headlines.
Yeah,
And that made the film look really bad, which I'm not saying it's good, but when it's taken in context, the joke isn't at the expense of the victims, it's at the expense of the terrorists, if you know what I mean.
yeah, it is.
But
But
it's another example of it's like crappy things the media does, isn't it?
yeah, but it implies like throughout that George W. Bush was behind 9/11 anyway, because he's
Yeah.
regularly, him and Osama bin Laden are regularly on the phone to each other.
It kind of like implies a gay relationship between them in a way, doesn't it? Because he's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I just can't quit you, George." And I
yeah,
thought, "Oh, some people are going to really get stirred up by that."
exactly. But yeah, it's a film that did get a couple of chuckles out of me, but also at the same time, like it was, to be fair, an offensive film. The amount of times they use the R word, for example, they use that a lot, and it's like, oof, you know.
Yeah.
But it's very. it's not as fun as I thought it was gonna be. But then again, I knew nothing of it, so I thought it would have just been a bit of like silliness, and it is silliness, but not the best kind of silliness. It's a bit,
I mean, I think it's more something he made to be deliberately political
yeah,
and hide it behind tomfoolery. Uh,
yeah,
I was surprised J.K. Simmons was in it. I thought he
yeah.
was a pretty big actor to have turned up. But apparently, he ad-libbed all his lines nearly.
All
So
right.
maybe that's why. Maybe he's like, I'll turn up, but I can't be asked to read a script, or I'm just going to say stuff. And
Yeah, there's a few people I recognized throughout the film. I was like, oh, I recognize this person. I recognize this person, but I couldn't say where from or who.
the little guy, Vern Troy, as Mini-Me from Austin Powers, isn't it?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he got raped by 1,000 monkeys.
Yeah, that was. Uh,
That was silly. Uh, so,
I mean,
what are your thoughts on this film then, Kerr?
I think it's enjoyable, really, but I think you've got to have your silly head on. I, you need to know what you're getting into, and you're getting into a political farce that just doesn't take anything seriously at all. And if you're easily offended, don't watch it because it's going to try its very hardest to offend you at every turn.
Mm. Yeah, it's definitely trying to offend. Um, I think, like you said, behind it there is like a political message and religious messages and things like that. But it's not written in the best way they could. For me, it's if a lot of it falls flat. It's not entertaining enough to kind of make you think about these things in a way, or to get laughs at um the premises that they try in, the things they trying to get across. I think that's the thing. It just falls a bit flat for me, which is a shame
Yeah.
because it could have been fun, I guess.
The problem is, in it, you've got to decide what do you want to be. Do you want to be a political message or do you want to be a comedy? And it never really decides.
Yeah, I think if you're gonna do satire, you need to do it better. Better satire. That's what I say.
Yeah. But I mean, we've watched worse because it's like apparently no scene in this film had more than 5 takes. Well, that's
All
probably
right.
still 4 takes more than Samurai Cop.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I enjoyed Samurai Cop more because Samurai Cop was fucking awful, but it was genuinely awesome because of how awful it was. It's kind of the whole too so bad it's good thing, and that worked for it. Whereas this
Well, I think here
wasn't so bad; it was so good.
they tried to make a stupid satire film,
Yeah,
and that's funny to a degree. But I think Samurai Cop, they were trying their earnest hardest to make a good film.
yeah,
And the
exactly.
fact it's retarded out the end of it and stupid, despite their efforts, is what makes it funnier. You know
Yeah,
that they weren't aiming for that. They were aiming for, like, a gold standard amazing film, and just all the entertaining mishaps that make it trash is what makes it fun.
yeah, I agree with you there. But yeah, I did prefer Samurai Cop. I didn't. I preferred this to Cocaine Shark
Oh yeah, definitely.
because that was fuck awful. To be fair, when I put her on, my missus like, "What do you make me watch?" After about 10 minutes, because she's like, "Really, this shit." I said, "It is shit." And I said, I have no idea what it's about. I just know that it's a film based on a game. And by the end, she's like, I didn't like it. It was crap, but you have made me watch worse. So fair enough.
Cocaine Shark is the lowest we've gone, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
When they make those lists of 10 films you should watch before you die, I think Cocaine Shark's the reverse. It'll be on the list of 10 films you should die before you watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. But with this film, I don't know. I always try and write down notes. I'm watching films. Sometimes I get a load. Sometimes I don't. With this and the other film, I haven't wrote any down. Other than where they were going when they said they weren't going to about the Bahamas, and also shite, because that's what I thought the film was. It was funny. Funny, not funny, but it was quite strange to see the game guy, the guy behind the games, like, what have you done to my game with this movie? And then they start fighting. Then Uwe Boll shoots the guy who made the games, and then Uwe Boll gets shot in the balls.
Oh, and says, I hate video games.
Yeah.
Ironic, because he's made a couple of video game films.
Yeah, he's made a fair few, haven't he?
I think, was it Silent Hill he made?
I don't know if he made Silent Hill. I can't remember, but I enjoyed the first Silent Hill film. I don't think it was amazing or anything, but I thought it was pretty good for a fucking video game film.
I still think the gold standard for video game films is possibly the first Mortal Kombat film. I really enjoyed that.
I enjoyed it, but watching it back, I didn't enjoy it as much as I did when I was younger. One thing that is missing for me is, which is, I guess, it's kind of a petty thing, but for a 18 rated video game, you've got a film that's for 12-year-olds or something.
Yeah, that's true. But that's the weird world we live in, because they try and make toys for 18 films and kids' cartoon. I mean, like, there was a kids' cartoon show, RoboCop.
Yeah.
So it's weird, isn't it? There's this thing where something's a big famous 18
Toxic
product.
Avenger cartoon.
Yeah. And then they try and market stuff related to it down to kids, but then tell kids they can't watch the source material. So it's just weird.
It was Terminator toys.
Yeah.
Back in the day when the films weren't shit. What's that really? Is it Terminator Genesis is meant to be really bad? We'll have to watch that at some point. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the one with Matt Smith in it as Skynet or something in it. And
fuck knows, I haven't got a clue. I just know it's meant to be shit, so we'll have to watch it. And then watch T1 and T2 and then be like, yeah, this is how you do things. Fucking brilliant films.
Yeah.
Big fan of both the first two Terminator films. I also really like the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which doesn't get enough love, in my opinion.
How long did that go on? I know I saw the first season of it.
There was 2 seasons and then it got cancelled. Another show was picked up for a second or third season, and I would rather I watched that one as well. I think it was Dollhouse, and which was I enjoyed, but I would have rather Sarah Connor Chronicles carry on because the cliffhanger ending is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, you do wish that when Sarah's has got cancelled, they'd at least give them a 90-minute movie to, tie a bow on the end of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what way they would have gone with season 3, to be honest, but it would have been fun to find out. Bastards. Bastards. That's what they are. So then, Postal. I would rate it 4 out of 10. I genuinely didn't like it, but because of a couple of chuckles, I give it 4.
I'd generously give it a 6.
Best scene, cat silencer.
My best scene's still the arguing over the virgins. Which is sad that my favourite scene's in the first 5 minutes, but...
Yeah. It is a bit sad, actually, because you know you got a whole film to go. Also, the fucking ending. Like I said, I've not played Postal, but does Postal go from a? Because I thought it was like a guy goes fucking on a rampage because he's down in the fucking dumps and his fucking check doesn't get paid or something, and then he goes on you go on a rampage. But this is about terrorists and then and cults and stuff like that, which I didn't think had anything to do with the games. And then you have the end going, oh yeah, China are nuking America, and then all of a sudden, fucking, it ends with the US being nuked. I was like, where the fuck did that come
Just,
from?
I just think he wanted a off-key dour ending to it, because usually everything's wrapped up in a happy ending. So I think he was just going, sod this, we're gonna go miserable. Because I think, it's like a metaphor for where he probably thinks the world's going. Really, like the world's not having a happy ending. I think the world's going to shit. Therefore, my film will too.
Yeah, it's very possible that's what his thought process was, but it just seemed to like so out of the blue. Like if they wanted to make it sad, just like have Postal Dude, as they call him, get shot or something. You know,
Yeah,
something, not just oh, all of a sudden the China are gonna nuke the US. Out like literally no mention of China throughout the entire film that I'm aware of. No
no, not
mention
that I
of
can remember.
nothing at all mentioned about some kind of wars or anything going on when it comes to China. Nothing about nukes. Then all of a sudden, in the last 2 minutes of the film, there's a news report that goes, China are going to nuke the US. They're going to hit in less than 2 minutes. And
Have you
then,
tried to crowdfund a sequel to this?
where would you go with a sequel? Everything's been nuked.
Well, I'm assuming post-apocalyptic sequel.
Hmm, fair enough.
But then you're heading down the Fallout route, really, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what it is. Postal is what caused Fallout. Fallout TV show's pretty good, actually. Not amazing,
Oh
but it's
yeah, it
pretty good.
is.
I
Yeah, I
enjoyed that.
enjoyed that. Walter Goggins is it as the ghoul.
Yeah,
He was great.
rather good show. Anything you want to add about this? And if not, we'll wrap up on this one.
Nah, I think I've said all I could say about this film.
Yeah, I think it's worth a watch, in a morbid curiosity kind of way. But otherwise, there are other films out there that we've watched that I would pick over this. So
Yeah, it's not anything I'm ever going to put on again for a rewatch.
no, definitely not. But I think that will do us, because we're done. Thank you for taking part. It's been a pleasure as always.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure being on.
I'm glad. And thank you for taking the time to watch Postal. It was very interesting. It was very something anyway. Anyway, bye bye everyone who's listened, and see you again in a fortnight. Bye.
Bye.
Last question. What is the difference between a duck?
What the hell is wrong with you people? Duck? I don't. Yeah, I came here for a job. A job. As far as I know, that job has nothing to do with a cocksucking motherfucking duck.